To give us a deeper insight into the latest labor force survey, we're joined by Josua Mata, Secretary General of Sentro or Sentro ng Nagkakaisa at Progresibong Manggagawa. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for taking time to speak with us today in Business Brief.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Josua. Now, with unemployment rising to 5% in October 2025, what do you see as the root causes behind the growing number of jobless Filipinos, and how can labor organizations push for meaningful solutions?
I think what we're seeing now is a clear indication that corruption not only steals public funds, but it actually steals our jobs. Yung malinaw na yon, no? It's very clear that the economic downturn that we have been experiencing at this point in time is really connected to the corruption scandals that have yet to be resolved, no? And that's the reason why we have been pushing Malacanang to do more than just saying that there should be that they should certify certain bills that will address yung problema natin.
Now,
but
in light of
more
that,
importantly,
yes.
Yeah,
In
sorry,
light of
but
that,
just one-
Joshua, now, when you're talking about what government can do you think the current government policies and programs are enough to protect workers and generate new employment, or is there need for a stronger labor-led advocacy?
No, that's the reason that's what I was trying to say, no, earlier. That the problem actually is that what we're seeing is that this economy continues to exhibit the same pattern that we have been seeing for decades, and that is it is performing phlegmatically when it comes to jobs generation. Now we've heard the figures, we've seen it. Imagine having a high unemployment and underemployment at a time na October na and we're moving towards Christmas peak season. That's worrisome. That only tells us that the economy continues to lag behind, no? And the bigger problem for me is the fact that a large part of the jobs that's being generated are actually in the services sector, and not in manufacturing, where we can see how we can see better jobs in terms of decent work, no? And so what we need to see is a robust employment program that's clearly linked to an industrial policy that the government has never really had the balls to actually do for many years now.
Now, which sectors do you believe are failing to create sufficient jobs, and how can labor groups engage with businesses to address these gaps?
Manufacturing is the more worrisome section for me. No, yes, there's some growth in manufacturing, very minimal during the past month. But if you look at on a quarterly basis, manufacturing was hardly seen, no? Which means jobs generation is driven mostly by services and then secondarily by agriculture. And that's the problem, because a lot of these jobs that are being generated in this sector are mostly contractual, no? And they're not as decent jobs as we want to see it. Take a look at where the unemployment is highest in all the regions. It's Calabarzon. Now, isn't that the manufacturing hub of the country? And the fact that Calabarzon exhibited the highest unemployment rate, and then that means that there is a problem with our manufacturing sector at this point.
And Joshua, finally, what do you think needs to be done, let's say, in the short term and medium term?
Well, apart from certifying the bills that he has already certified, the ones that would solve some of the problems that we're dealing with in the corruption scandal, I think it's now time for the government to actually come up with real reforms that will ameliorate yung problema ng mga manggagawa. Now, particularly, we'd like to see a wage-led policy in terms of pump priming the economy. We need to look at pump priming, and one way to pump prime talaga is to make sure that there is wage increase, and if needed, then government should step in to provide wage subsidies to make sure that that some companies can survive this. But more than that, we need a far more robust public employment program.
Okay. On that note, thank you, Joshua, for your insights. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
And thank you very much.